This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Monday morning. I guess we've got some disappointed people. We haven't scrapped country. We're just going a new direction for a while. You know, Trump's going to have 4 years of turmoil, and we just thought here at Insane Broadcasting that maybe we just get involved. We've got a great lineup. Starting at 7 o'clock this morning, we had our good friend, the King, Kevin Slayton, and you're going to have a lot of professional people on the radio now. You're going to have Michael Savage, Glenn Beck, Laura Ingram, Jim Bohannon, Kevin Slayton. Then you're going to have an ignorant, stupid son of a bitch like Bob Romanik, but that's okay. That's okay. You know, we can't have a perfect lineup. Hell, if you had a perfect lineup, everybody get tired. You know, you got to have one ignorant bastard, and that's me. But see, I'm an ignorant bastard, and I talk for the people. I'm not a professional radio guy. We've got our new general manager for 1190, John Shepard here. He's very, very professional, and I know times he cringes when I talk. But see, life is like everything else. Nothing's perfect. You're not going to have a perfect situation. You're not going to ever have it perfect. And as long as Bob Romanik's on the air, if you're looking for perfection, you better go someplace else, because you're not even going to come close. You're not even going to come close to getting perfection with Bob Romanik, because, see, Bob Romanik doesn't speak for the professional radio people. Bob Romanik doesn't speak for the politicians. Bob Romanik speaks for the people, for you people. I know you guys mispronounce words. You screw up. Oh, hell, I guess we're human beings, aren't we, people? But anyway, going to have a great lineup. And as always, I can't find half the crap I'm looking for, but I was going to give you the lineup. I think it's going to be Kevin Slayton from 7 to 9. It's going to be news from 9 to 10. I'll be on from 10 to 11. From 11 to 2, Glenn Beck. From 2 to 5, the great Michael Savage. And you think I'm off the wall. You got to listen to Michael Savage from 2 to 5. I'll do my Reaper Repeat from 5 to 6. And then the talented Laura Ingram from 6 to 9. Then Jim Bohannon from 9 to midnight. And then we go into what they call Red Eye Radio. It's got all the sports, the news. You'll love that. I was very impressed last night listening to all that. And I think we're going to have one hell of a radio station, one hell of a lineup. And we just hope you people are involved. And if you're interested in the old country, you can hit our sister station, WQQW, 1510 AM out of Highland. I know most of the St. Louis crowd won't be able to pick it up, but it'll be on streaming, and we'll talk about that down the road a little bit. But we want to welcome all of our new hosts to 1190, The Patriot. Talk so hot, you'll think you're in hell, and you probably are. So, again, if you're offended, not just by my show, Michael Savage, Kevin Slayton, I'd say don't listen. And if you're not offended, if you're a true American, you'll understand. You'll understand what's going on. And calls are always welcome. We are America's voice of freedom. Definitely the Patriot. You can call toll-free, 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. John Shepard, our new general manager for KQQZ 1190 is in with us, and we're going to speak with him now. He's got to get going. He's been up all night trying to launch the new farm ad. John, how the hell you doing, buddy? It's a pleasure and an honor to have you with us.
Well, I got about 3 pots of coffee on board, so I'm doing pretty good. But I will say this. You mentioned Michael Savage a minute ago. I think Michael Savage may even make you cringe a little bit.
Yeah, well, hey, that's going to be a lot to do, but today at 2, we'll see.
Yeah, you guys might get a little competition going from time to time. But Kevin had a great show this morning. It was a good launch. Minimal amount of train wrecks, and I just wanted to echo your sentiments. If you're looking for the classic country, obviously it is available, of course, on AM 1510 WQQW and also streaming on the TuneIn app. We had some problems with that. We think we have them worked out. Should be up and going by this afternoon. But thank you very much for this opportunity. I know this is something we've been kicking around for quite some time, and I'm excited about it.
Well, John, I think I've talked with enough people, and there's people that are disappointed because they do like country, but I think in this day and age that we got to take that country kind of put to the side. We got to worry about our society. We got to worry about all of our political situations going on, and no place better than right here at KQQZ 1190 AM because, see, we're not going to sugarcoat anything. We're going to tell it the way it is. They know it's going to be hard-hitting. They know it's going to be somewhat crazy. And they know we don't give a damn. We're going to tell it the way it is. We don't give a damn. Who cares? And if they don't care, just don't listen.
Well, I think, obviously a lot of times some of your best conversations take place off the air. And before the show, we were talking about the fact that, this is going to be a step different from anything else you're going to hear in the St. Louis market. It's not just going to be your average everyday talk station. We're really emphasizing on relevance, stimulating intellectual conversation, and, making your mind work out a little bit. And like you said, it's going to be hot talk. We're unashamed of that, and we're embracing that.
Okay, well, Mr. John Shepard, the new general manager for KQQZ 1190 AM. Because of him, I think we're going to be, I know we're going to be professional. I know he cringes when I get on the air, but hey, that's okay. You got to take the good with the bad. And John, I know it's going to be a successful launch. And I think at the end of the day, people are going to be happy that 1190 is what it is.
Well, it's our mission, and we want to do something different than has ever been done on St. Louis radio, and I think we're off to a good start.
Mr. John Shepard, thank you very much, buddy. Hey, I'm going to talk real quick, and then we've got a guest coming in, a good friend of ours, a proud member of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, a man who has fought the fight for the last 4 years in the city of Belleville, and who I've heard, and I want to hear it from him personally, that he will be a candidate for mayor of Belleville. This is a gentleman that spoke out on this judge race, and I don't give a damn what anybody says. I don't think Ron Dupert was a good candidate for judge. I think this gentleman that I'm talking about, Dallas Cook, he fought the fight against Barra Civic. He fought the fight saying, hey, these guys shouldn't be able to run for election. They should have to run for retention like the Constitution meant. And I think because of that, I think Dallas Cook changed the whole outset of St. Clair County. And we'll be talking, he's on his way in, we'll be talking to him momentarily. But I got to say, you ass-white bastards from the Oak Tree Hospitality Services, LLC, Charles F. Keller, you people read about it in the paper. Dallas Cook, young family man, he doesn't have a lot of money. But I tell you what, I know Dallas Cook well enough. Don't try to intimidate him because you're going to run into problems. He can be a bull in the china shop. He tries to be nice, but I don't think you want to challenge Dallas Cook. They sent a nasty letter through the law firm. Hey, Michael T. George, PC. Piece of crap? Is that what that stands for? PC, piece of crap? Dallas Cook hasn't said much at all. All Dallas Cook is trying to be is transparent. He's trying to get information to the people from the people that are taking millions of dollars from the good, hardworking taxpayers of Belleville, Illinois. And he gets chastised for that? They send this nasty letter. Please be advised that Oak Tree Hospitality Services, as well as Charles F. Keller and his family, it's been informed by my clients that you've been making comments about the company and its development project across from the Lady of the Snow Shrine in Belleville, the development, which are false and defamatory. In addition, you have apparently been reaching out to business associates or acquaintances of Mr. Keller seeking negative information. Hey, you asswipe bastards, take that operation to Iraq or Iran. This is America. That man can do whatever he wants. He's not doing it for personal reasons. He wants to find out, as we all do, what the hell's going on. You've had that Hoff Brewhouse, you idiots, Keller Group, and you, Michael T. George, PC, whatever the hell, piece of crap. I guess he's an attorney. I don't know. But they're sending this nasty letter. This purpose of this letter is to demand that you immediately cease and desist all such activity. Hey, you didn't send me a letter. I've been talking about that development and operation like the dog it is. But I want to apologize to the dog, of course. You no good son of... Who the hell, people, do you understand? This is like St. Clair County. These bastards want to intimidate everybody. They think they can get away with this crap. So you should refrain from doing this. I will advise my clients to consider any and all actions available to them. Hey, what about this action, kiss my white, hairy, stinky, red, white, and blue patriotic ass that we can say what we want in America? What about that action, you idiots? Defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Oh, you idiots. And torturous interference with the business relationship or among the causes of action. My client would be available to them should they decide to pursue that. Hey, why not be available to kiss my ass once again? That's always available. Michael T. George, PC, piece of crap. Unbelievable. You know, they had a nasty thing in the paper talking about me and Mike Bittner. They didn't mention my name, but I know they were talking about me, and I like that. That because we're talking so bad about him, because we're exposing, because we're being transparent and letting the good people of Belleville and the surrounding areas know that development, in my opinion, is never going to be successful. Now, there may be a Hoff Brewhouse. There may be a this. There's not going to be 10 soccer fields. There's not going to be 8 restaurants. There's not going to be 4 5-star hotels. Are you nuts? There'll be a pig fly out my ass before that happens. And Kern, don't get excited about that, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. But Mr. Dallas Cook just walked in. Dallas, I'll tell you what, I am so pissed that these bastards think that we live in a country that we can't speak free. And I want to salute you, Dallas Cook, because you're one of the few that took the bull by the horns, not only in this judge situation, but in this situation with this Hoff Brewhouse. And I'll tell you, I want to know, first and foremost, are you a candidate for mayor of Belleville?
Yes, definitely, Bob.
Well, let me tell you, you good people in Belleville, you heard it first here on the air. Dallas Cook has fought for you people the last 4 years, and he'll continue to fight. I don't think there's any other choice, personally, than Dallas Cook for mayor of Belleville. This man's fought the system. He's fought the county. He's fought the city. He's fought all this political corruption. And now he's getting screwed with again. But see, Dallas walked in with his head up high. He knows he's right. And Dallas, what the hell? All you've tried to do is inform and be transparent to the people of Belleville about this Hoff Brewhouse. In my opinion, not Dallas Cook's, in my opinion, is going to be the biggest failure, the biggest debacle in Belleville history.
Well, here's the deal, Bob. Let me first say that I definitely hope that this development succeeds. Anything that's going on in the city of Belleville, it needs to succeed. You can tell we're at a bit of a precipice right now where the city can only go one of two directions. We either continue to go downhill or we save this city. And this is my city. This is where I grew up. I've lived here my whole life. I only want great things for the city. I'm just disgusted by the type of behavior that's going on. So let's go back to the Hofbräu House. Okay, first of all, when this was brought up about 3 years ago and when the city gave them $40 million of incentives and agreed to build out $3 million worth of sewers, I wanted them to slow down. I asked them, okay, do you have the financials? Do you have anything at all on the folks who want to develop this? Do you have any proof that they can do what they're going to say they're going to do before we make promises and do those things with taxpayer money? Well, they said, no, how could we ask for that? That's so rude to ask for their financials. Don't do that to them. That's mean. And I'm thinking, this is crazy. So you just saw last week, the city of St. Louis, the aldermen, they reviewed the financials of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Right.
And they made an agreement about Ballpark Village where they're giving them, I think it's $12 million incentives. Well, with this project, there's $40 million worth of incentives. Well, the city of St. Louis had no problem asking for those financials. They received them. And it's not because they're negative towards the Cardinals. Hey, we love the Cardinals. The city of St. Louis loves the Cardinals. Unbelievable franchise. But they have a fiduciary duty. Their job is to represent the taxpayers first. And that's the way it always is supposed to be. However, in the city of Belleville, it didn't happen. Mayor Mark Eckert was desperate for his reelection, desperate to take anything that anybody would give him, and he was willing to give them the world without any care for whether or not they could perform. And clearly now, 3 years later, I'd have to say I was right.
Yeah. No, after you were totally right. Dallas, I drive by every day going down to East St. Louis, and they've got one or two people working on the facade, the outside, because they want people to think something's being done. This was supposed to be done this summer. It's never going to get done before. I bet you it's not done before the summer of next year.
It definitely won't be, but I want it done. So that's why as soon as I become mayor, I will meet with these folks and I will find out what is going on. And I won't just keep it to myself or lie about it. I will tell the people the truth because that is what they deserve. They deserve the truth. Now, you can do this project and you can do it without government money, and government has nothing to do with it. And we shouldn't ask any questions then. That's your private business. But hey, you came to the taxpayers of the city of Belleville wanting $50 million of our dollars. $50 million. And I don't care if you tell me that's sales tax that they're going to generate. No, every other business in Belleville pays sales tax. They're not getting their money back. How do they feel?
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Dallas, I said this from day one. Any mayor with any ability, business ability, not a pansy pushing pansies at his flower shop like a Maximus Vaginas Eckert, before I would have committed the hardworking taxpayers' money of Belleville to any project, I would have wanted all kind of business plans, development plans, financial plans. Knowing how can he say, Dallas, and I know you can't talk for him, this idiot thinks we're all stupid. If there would have been one major hotel that would have wanted to come to this area, they would have announced it a year ago. He keeps pussyfooting around. We can't tell you. Well, if you can't tell us, what the hell's the problem? They can't tell us this, they can't tell us that, because they have no answers to tell us, Dallas.
Right. They still haven't even announced the hotel. They had another press conference, the day before this last election here in November, where they said, okay, well, we have the hotel. Here's a design of it. But we can't tell you the name, even though it said Hyatt Place on there. So now what I would like to know is, I'd like to see a document that says, okay, they have a Hyatt Place. Yeah. Because we haven't received anything. I think it's a whole lot of baloney, a whole lot of, pushing stuff down the road so that, hey, now we're going to begin building that hotel sometime after April. And, of course, the city election's in April.
Well, we have to get we have to get Eckert reelected before all this stuff will be go to good. And Eckert, you rotten, no-count, good-for-nothing, lousy, lying son of a bitch. You've lied to the people about Belleville, about this Hoff Brew House. You're sending all the businesses out to the outer corridor. And then the biggest thing to me, Dallas, and I hope if you're elected mayor, you will stand up and say, people of Belleville, I respect you, but let me tell you, Belleville's not the safest place. We all have to band together, because I tell you, whenever Eckert says this town's safe, somebody dies, somebody gets hurt bad, the blood of them is on his hands. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're right, and that, I think, is the number one concern of this campaign. Crime in this area has not been going so well. We've seen a couple little things in the newspaper, but a lot of it we don't hear about.
Right.
And nobody wants to have a negative light over the community, but hey, we want to be safe. I got a bunch of little kids, and the worst thing in the world would be to feel like you're not safe in your own home, or to be able to shop in Belleville and not be safe. Hey, you want businesses to come into Belleville? You don't have to pay them to come here. You need safe streets. That means you need to work on your infrastructure. You need to work on crime. And I will tell you what, not to tip off too much, because on next Saturday at 10 a.m. in downtown Belleville, I am going to announce my 100-day plan and announce officially that I'm running for mayor. But to give you a little bit of a head start on that, I can tell you one thing's for sure. We're going to have a change in the Belleville Police Administration. Day one, I'm going to hire a new police chief for the city of Belleville, and he's going to be visible in this community, and he's going to tell these criminals, you just take yourself out here, and if you don't, we're going to hammer the law against you as heavy as that hammer can come, because crime is the number one issue, and I'm not going to stand for it, and my chief won't stand for it, and he's going to end it whatever it takes, because we have unbelievable police officers at the city of Belleville, but their hands are tied by politics and, from what I understand, lack of care.
Yeah.
They sit there at the new police department. The mayor sits at the top floor of it. And, you can't even get in there. The public can't even get in there. I just don't know what's going on with that police administration. I do know, though, I'm going to change it. Day one.
Dallas, let me tell you, here's a situation with Eckert, and everybody can see he doesn't give transparency, but he is transparent because they can see right through this son of a bitch. Now that the bread company is moving to the outer corridor, there's a lot of people that are interested in that building. He's full of crap. I mean, he just keeps kicking the can down the road. He keeps okey-fadoking people. Dallas, we've got a caller. Let's go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Yeah, I just want to say, as a resident of Belleville and been in this area all my life, I want to thank Dallas for stepping out there and becoming mayor. Or running for mayor. It's about time we get somebody who cares about the people and not spends their taxpayer money like it's their own personal piggy bank. Thank you, Dallas. I'll support you any way I can, and good luck to you. And it'll be good to have a representative of the people and not a representative of the hierarchy of St. Clair County.
Well, sir, thank you very much, and I'm sure Dallas thanks you. Dallas, I've talked with a lot of people, and I had heard that you were going to run for mayor, and I mean this sincerely. People are ready. They're ready for a change. And I think once you kick off your campaign, you're going to find that you're going to have people that you didn't even think were behind you because things have to change. These people have these houses in Belleville. They don't want to give them away like they did in East St. Louis. So this is the last straw, people. Dallas Cook is the last straw. If this pussy boy Maximus Vaginus Mark Eckert, the illustrious mayor of Belleville, takes one more term, you can just give your houses away because Belleville's not going to be worth a penny.
Yeah, I really appreciate that caller, and that's the kind of stuff that keeps me going. But I will tell you, from knocking doors over this weekend to get some signatures to get on the ballot, I learned I've got a lot of support out there. I was out in Ogles for about 4 hours on Saturday, and it's unbelievable how much the people are ready for a change. All their property values keep going down, but their taxes keep going up.
Yeah.
And Mark Eckert doesn't care about that. He blamed the tax increase on veterans when he raised it $60 per 100,000 on the home. That had nothing to do with veterans exemption. It had everything to do with the ridiculous spending, the out-of-control TIFs, and the mismanagement of our city.
Dallas, before we take a break here, this law firm of Michael T. George, PC, you had to be offended when you got, after all you did as an elected official was trying to get information, and if it's negative, it's negative. You can't help it. You didn't ask people to lie. You just wanted to know the good and the bad about this Keller Group as everybody else does. We don't know anything about this Keller Group, but how did you take this letter when you got this piece of crap that they sent to you? And I'm pissed because they didn't send me a copy because I've been ragging them. I've been ragging them a lot. You haven't actually been ragging them. You've been just trying to find out information. I've actually been ragging these no-count bastards. What did you think when you got this piece of crap, this intimidation letter?
Oh, I rolled on the floor laughing. I was offended, but not offended personally. I was offended for the people of the city of Belleville.
I agree.
That how dare you send an elected official who represents the taxpayers here in the city of Belleville a letter telling him to be quiet when you took all our taxpayer dollars and you have no problem reaming the taxpayers, but how dare I ask a question? And can I explain to you why I received that letter?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I tell you what I did? Well, I haven't had anything negative to say about it. Like I said, I hope it succeeds no matter what. But I made a phone call to the city of Chester, Illinois, because they had a similar situation with the Kellers. And so I was looking at what kind of incentives they got. Well, the city told me that they didn't give them any incentives. They actually, that development had to pay for their own sewer lines, had to pay for their own gas lines, everything out of their own pocket, which as it should be. But they did tell me that there was a gentleman who was working with Mr. Keller on the project who was the front man for the project and that he could tell me a lot more about it. So they gave me his phone number. So I called him. I mean, I'm doing the type of homework that should be done by our mayor and alderman anyway.
Right.
I just had to step up to the plate. And so I did. And so I called this gentleman and I simply asked him some questions, not negative questions at all. I'm just looking for facts, nothing negative. Well, he happened to tell me a whole heck of a lot. And so I sat there and I listened, and he spoke highly of Mr. Keller as a man, that he liked him. He didn't know him that well, but he thought he was a very nice man. And so but then he went on to talk a little bit about the financial situation and about loans in the current market and things that are going on. And so then I realized here in the city of Belleville, we should be gravely concerned with the current situation. And so that's all that I did. And I guess it got under their skin that I talked to somebody who probably the mayor hasn't even talked to, and I learned more than him. And so, that's all that happened. I didn't do anything.
If you check my background, and I know I've got an excellent background, I want you to check it, and I want you to bring it out. But if I'm a little shady, well, I am a little shady, not a lot of shady like these politicians. I don't want you to inquire about anything. And so I think that's telltaling that they don't want you or me or anybody else to ask any questions, because the answers we're going to get may not be very pretty.
And that's all that happened. That's it. You know, I upset them by daring to ask the questions that need to be asked. But hey, like I said in the article, you want to come at me, well, bring it on, because I know I'm on the people's side, and that's what matters.
Dallas, we're going to take a quick break. You got the last word. What do you got to tell the good people of Belleville about your upcoming election?
Hey, I'm running for mayor, and I'm doing it for you. I don't care. I've got the guts. They can do whatever they want to me. I can take it. I'm here to fight for you. And Saturday at 10 a.m., I'm going to be in downtown Belleville announcing my plans for the first 100 days. It's time for a change here in Belleville, and it's going to be my greatest honor to bring it to you.
Mr. Dallas Cook, the city clerk for Belleville, and hopefully for all the good people of Belleville, for the future of Belleville, the next mayor of Belleville, Mr. Dallas Cook. Dallas, thank you very much for taking the time out.
Thanks, Bob.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. I just hope you good people of Belleville understand what's going on. You people that have property, own houses, own businesses. Dallas Cook is your last resort, people. You've seen what Eckert's done. He's done nothing for the people of Belleville. And remember about a year and a half ago, I talked about the bread company closing, and Eckert put in the paper, oh, no, it's not. Once again, what Bob Romanik said has come to pass. And I'm like Dallas. I want to see every business in Belleville be successful. I want to see that Hoff Brew House be successful. But I don't want to have somebody shove crap up my behind. It should be coming out of your behind. But when these people lie to us, Kern's lied, and I'm going to play that nice song for Kern here momentarily. I'm going to dedicate this song again, the Christmas song, to Mark the Big Faggot, Kern. But I said about a year and a half ago that they were closing the bread company. No, they're not. They're going to keep both of them open. They couldn't keep both of them open. And you got to have the employees. They got to transition over to the new place. There wouldn't be any employees for the old place. So don't let these asswipe politicians give you that okey-fadoke, people, because that's all it's going to be. I was at a Christmas party Saturday night. I was at a Christmas party, had a great time, met some great people. Shane and Jean Rennick, and Justin, their son, listens to the show. I appreciate that. Floyd Alexander, he's a past board chairman from Jersey County. I met him up in Wood River. Tim Paulison and Wally Davis, want to say hi to you guys. Met a lot of great. Russ Erlinger had a Christmas party, and he's a wonderful guy, great guy. Met a lot of great people, a lot of good music. And Russ, I want to thank you for your friendship. I want to thank you for your support. Jimmy Seabold from 1-800-RADIATOR. I want to say hi to him. You can't believe the people that stop me and say, Bob, we're for you. And it's very, very humbling when you hear that from people. Now, you know our new format. I will be coming on at 5 o'clock for my Reaper Repeat on 1190. I'll still be on at 4 o'clock on 1430. So if you go to 1190 at 4 and you hear Michael Savage, now you may want to listen to him. then you can hear my repeat performance at 5. If not, I will be on 14:30 at the same 4 o'clock repeat, Reaper repeat. And it's going to be a little confusing, but we're going to get it all worked out. And as always, we're still on Sunday at 11 o'clock, our Spirit of America hour, where we honor all of our military heroes with an hour of military music. And it'll still be on 14:30 at noon on Saturday, the Spirit of America hour. What a great hour of music, honoring our great country and our proud military heroes. I want to congratulate, once again, the new county board chairman for Madison County, Mr. Kurt Prenzler. And this gentleman, his first act is to bring Brad Leviti back to the Madison County Courthouse today at noon. And I want to salute Kurt Prenzler for that. Brad Levitri, he was a vet that, because of his situation in the service, had a small problem, and we all have problems. Hell, I'm totally nuts. Had a problem, he got it taken care of. And we all deserve a second chance in this great country. This asswipe, no-count, good-for-nothing son of a bitch, Alan Dunstan, wouldn't let a proud veteran. And Dunstan, that helped lose the election for you, because I know every proud vet out there voted for a man who respects and honors the vets, Mr. Kurt Prenzler. Not you, you no-good son of a bitch. Alan Dunstan, what a piece of political crap. But I think they've destroyed. See, the Democrats are the ones that destroyed Madison County. They just opened the door for the Republicans. And I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm a political mercenary. I don't like any of those political groups. But I think Mr. Kurt Prenzler will do a great job, and hopefully we can get Kurt to give us a call, because, again, we want to thank him. We want to thank him for bringing Brad Leviti back, the proud vet. It's unbelievable. You got to fight. You got to fight to do something for a man who fought to keep our freedoms intact. It just really pisses me off. The election's over. They had 19 hit pieces out on me. Cost Madigan about $900,000. And you heard Kern, the big faggot. Romanik's a felon. Romanik's a felon. He's a no-good son of a bitch. Obstruction of justice. I don't know if I made a mistake or just made the wrong decision, but that's okay. I'll take my punishment. But ex-political boss denies claim suit that he's an arsonist. Charlie Powell. But he's one of Kern's convicted felons. You've got Charlie Powell, get him a zillion votes. You got Tyrone Bills, a murderer, get him zillions of votes. You got Terrence Stitt. Do you see the hypocrisy, people? Kern talked about Bob Romanik, a no-good son of a bitch. But all these no-good son of a bitches down there in East St. Louis, they're his no-good son of a bitches. They got him elected. The black thugs down in East St. Louis got him elected. And it said in the paper in April 2006, shortly before Charlie Powell reported to federal prison to serve 21 months, he was given a farewell birthday party at the East St. Louis Club Illusions, where St. Clair County Democratic Party noticeables, including circuit judges, state's attorneys, elected officials, Kern, Sprague, Barra-Civic, they all went. But see, that's a hypocrisy in the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption, people. It's do as I say, not as I do. But here's Charlie Powell on the front page. What an idiot he is. I wouldn't torch anything. That to me sounds like an arsonist statement. Most people say, I wouldn't burn it down. Charlie Powell says, I wouldn't torch it. Charlie Powell, what a no-good piece of crap. But see, he's Kern's piece of crap. He's marked, I'm sorry, I was going to say Sweet Cakes, but we've changed his name, rightfully so, to the big faggot. And let's play this song. I want to play this song and dedicate it to Mark, the big faggot Kern, the St. Clair County Board Chairman. What a piece of crap. And after you hear it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Wife is missing, didn't ask for her permission. I'm wearing her clothes, her silk pantyhose, walking around in women's underwear. In the store, there's a teddy with little straps like spaghetti. It holds me so tight, like handcuffs at night, walking around in women's underwear.
In the office there's a guy named Melvin. He pretends that I am Murphy Brown.
He'll say, are you ready? We'll say, whoa, man. Let's wait until the wife is out of town. Later on, if you wanna, we can dress like Madonna. Put on some high shade and join the parade. Walking around in women's underwear. Lacy things missing. Didn't ask permission. Wearing her clothes, silk pantyhose. Walking around in women's underwear. Walking around in women's underwear. Walking around in women's underwear.
That nice Christmas song dedicated to the St. Clair County Board Chairman Mark the Big Faggot Kern. The Big Faggot. And people get mad. I'm not calling the gay community faggots. I'm calling Kern a faggot. And it is disrespectful. And I will disrespect that man and Bob Sprague till the day I die. And then probably down in hell where I'll meet them, I'm sure. I'll disrespect them again. Hey, don't forget about NAME, the new organization, the National Association for Majority Equality. I've had blacks tell me, get pissed. Bob, you'd be becoming a racist. No, I'm not. I'm becoming a realist like I've always been. I believe in equality for white people, as I do believe in, guess what? Equality for black people. But if a white man says that, he's a racist. That's bull crap. I'm far from being a racist. And when we come back from break, I'm going to tell you the story. And this really pisses me off, about the 16-year-old black gal, remember from Ladue High School, who walked in the school bus, and a couple ignorant, white, stupid punks, that's what my dad would always call them, punks, made a stupid statement about the black gal going to the back of the bus. And then, oh boy, then there's a major racial problem and situation with the NAACP and all the black groups. And we're going to discuss that right after this break. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Don't forget Hot Talk 1190 AM, the Patriot. Talk so hot you'll think you're in hell, and you probably are. I want to talk about, and I'm a proud white guy, and I'm always going to be a proud white guy until I'm dead. Then I'm going to be a dead proud white guy, but that's okay. I want to represent my race, the white race, and I don't want to be a racist. I love the proud black people that take care of their families, take care of themselves. Now, the Nicaraguans I don't like, and the poor, I shouldn't say poor white trash. There's a lot of good people that are poor white trash. The white bums I don't like. But again, people, why can't you defend the white race without being a racist? I'm far from being a racist, and I'm tired of saying that, and I'm going to quit saying that at one point. I just want all the new listeners, and we've got all kind of new listeners every day. We pick up new listeners because they know we're real here at KQQZ 1190 AM, and they're going to hear the truth. Now, it's not going to be sugar-coated, but they're going to hear the truth. Remember the 16-year-old black gal from Ladue? She got on the bus, and two white, ignorant, stupid punks, two young kids, idiots, said, "Get to the back of the bus." And that gal was so devastated. She was devastated, I'm telling you, devastated. Got the NAACP involved. Got rallies, got marches, because two ignorant white bastard kids said, "Get to the back of the bus." But now, the NAACP's there. They're having big things on television. Oh, they're going to have big meetings, big this, because she's traumatized, homogenized, and whatever eyes she is. But what about the white guy? And the news media are a bunch of crappy bastards. This white guy, this musician from Soulard area, white guy, walking down the street, 4 black thugs beat the hell out of him. They call it the knockout game, where they try to knock you out with one punch. He gets on TV. You see his eyes swollen. He can't see. He looks nasty. He looks just about as bad as I do when I get up in the morning. The news media didn't report the description of these people. Why wouldn't they have said, "Hey, there was 4 black kids, one this size, one this, wearing this"? They glossed over all of that. It was 4 people attacked him, beat the hell out of him, didn't rob him, didn't do anything for no reason. They didn't even say in the news media that it was 4 black suspects. They didn't give the description. Because, see, it's different. No, it's not different, people. That was a hate crime. Let 4 white kids beat the hell out of a black guy walking down in Soulard. They'd have had Jesse Jackson, they'd had Al Sharpton, they'd had every black son of a bitch in town there. They don't even talk about it on TV, but they talk about the 16-year-old girl that some stupid white kid said, immature white kid, "Go to the back of the bus." Made all kind of news. Maybe you didn't even see this in the paper, people. This white guy walking down the street, minding his own business, gets the hell beat out of him by 4 black thugs. What a hate crime that is. Nobody acknowledges that. See, when we get started with NAME, we'll be over there, the National Association for Majority Equality. We want equal treatment for that white guy. They don't talk about any racial problems. Talk about those 4 black thugs being racist. They didn't even call them black. Now, don't you think if you got the hell beat out of you by 4 people, the news media would want to put their descriptions on the air? But the news media, other than Bob Romanik, they're afraid to talk about crap like this. Oh, we can't talk about that. Bob Romanik can talk about it, and I'm not a racist. For maybe the second to last time, I'm going to say that. Think about it, people. This white guy gets the hell beat out of him. You probably don't read it in the newspaper. There was a little blurb on television. If it had been a black guy got the hell beat out of him by 4 whites, hell, Jesse Jackson, he'd be flying in, Al Sharpton, the NAACP. They'd be rioting in the streets. They'd be burning crap down. And I'm not being funny. I'm being serious. But this white guy just got done with the gig, I guess, in the Soulard area, taking a shortcut, walking down the alley in Soulard. They beat that 4 blacks, beat the 4 black, no-count, rotten, greasy son of a bitches. Beat the hell out of this poor guy. Don't rob him. Don't do anything but want to hurt him. Now, that's certainly a hate crime. Where's the white group getting together and say, "Hey, we're tired of this"? You don't see the whites getting together, and I blame you, son of a bitches, you white people. You make me ashamed sometime. No, you be a racist. You can't talk that. Bob Romanik's going to talk what he wants, when he wants. This is America, people. And especially you white people, wise up. And I got a lot of black friends. I wouldn't want 5 whites beating the hell out of black. I'd say, man, that's nasty. That's racial. That's a hate crime. I'd be the first to admit it. But nobody wants to admit it's a hate crime when it's black on white. How come, people? Think about it. Think about it. Why? Why are we afraid as white people? Why do we sit back? You know, they're going to push us. And not the proud blacks. I'm talking about the black thugs, the criminals, the protesters, the rioters. they're going to push us to the edge of the cliff. We're going to have to fight, or they're going to push us off. So if we're going to have to fight, people, let's fight before we get that close to the edge, don't you think? Don't you think? Well, I'm going to have to go today. We're on a time restraint since we have the national syndicated shows coming on with Glenn Beck and all of them. So we're up against a hard break. So thank you, good people. Keep listening. Glenn Beck will be coming on. And always remember, let's continue to unite to expose these rotten bastard, politically corrupt son of a bitches. And at the end of the day, people, we've got to do what we've got to do. We've got to destroy these low-life, no-count, good-for-nothing, political, parasitical punks that we call politicians. And as always, we have to destroy them politically, of course, right here on the dark side.